Hi ladies, hope you're doing okay at home. I'm going to talk you through the 3D product design brief for your GCSE coursework. What I've done is I've put together a little booklet that we're looking at now. If you look down the side there, you can see that's the front page. That sheet is assessment criteria. That's a sheet where I would, if we were in school, I'd normally print this out for you and you'd have it as a little booklet and I'd write feedback in it. That's some of the tasks you've got to do, and there's little help sheets explaining what to do along the side there. Now let's go back to the front cover. If you look at the front cover, the contextual challenge, that's the challenge that the examination board has set you. You can have three choices: multifunctional living, teenage lifestyle, and nature and the environment. And the one I've chosen for you is multifunctional living, and that is because I think it's the best fit with 3D products, making things out of wood, metal and plastic and giving you enough scope to get a really good GCSE. However, I wouldn't be opposed to you choosing one of the other ones if you wanted to, but I focused all these help sheets around multifunctional living. If you scroll down a little bit further, when your folder is marked, it's marked in three sections: A01, A02 and A03. We're going to focus on A01 this term. A01 is seven A3 sheets that you'll put into a folder. The first 6 sheets here, which is identifying and investigating design possibilities, is worth 10 marks. It's quite easy to do, and I've really structured it for you so you can easily get those 10 marks. Now the 7th sheet is 10 marks on its own, which is producing a design brief, specification and manufacturing specification. So that sheet is worth 10 marks just on its own. And we're going to try in the next 6 weeks and complete these 7 sheets in this area in A01. So we're going to scroll down now, and you can see there's the assessment criteria, there's the mark. That's the feedback sheet, and then we've got this sheet, which is, I'll click on it, which is the instructions for the first 3 sheets in your booklet, in your coursework. And you can see it's got sheet 1 contextual challenge, sheet 2 contextual challenge, and it's got sheet 3. We're going to just be focusing on these 2 sheets this week, so I'm going to be talking about these 2 sheets this week and nothing else really. So the first thing we need to do is to think about what is multifunctional living. So I've given you some questions there, and the first thing I'd probably do is open up a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to show you now. I'll click in between. There's one I prepared earlier, and you can see it's got the sheet. That's sheet number 1, that's sheet number 2. We'll have a look at these. So you probably want to write sheet 1 in the corner, and contextual challenge, multifunctional living. You want this to be an A3 sheet. So to do that, all you have to do is click design at the top there, go to where it says slide size, custom size, and then drop that little menu down and you can get an A3 sheet. And then make sure it's landscape on the top there. This is good because I know most of you know how to use PowerPoint really well. You can email stuff into school really easy through PowerPoint, and we can print out A3 sheets. So I think it's a really good way for you to present your information. But if you want to do it in a different way, that's up to you. But it needs to be in A3 format when you print it out. So you can see the first thing I've done is type contextual challenge, multifunctional living at the top. And then those are the prompt questions I've given you. Explain what is multifunctional living. Now, if you don't know what that is, the first thing you probably do is go into the internet and type in what is multifunctional living. So I've done that. I'm just going to reduce that down. Oh, there. And I'm going to look for my internet where I've done that. And you can see I've typed in multifunctional living, and it's given me some pictures and information there. I could read some information that people have put on there. I could watch some videos. I could do all those things to find out what multifunctional living is. So that's the first thing I want you to do. I'm just going to reduce that down now and go back to my... Okay. So obviously go into the internet and find out what other people think multifunctional living is. The next question I've asked you is, what do other people consider this to be? So you might find information from one or two people. If you are going to find information and you're copy and paste information in and not writing it in your own words, then you need to reference those people and say who's saying it. Maybe have a picture of them or a word bubble coming out saying this is what they've said. You also need to see and find out what type of people live in multifunctional spaces. So find some examples and explain how they live in those multifunctional spaces. You also need, a good thing would be to see how other communities or cultures or countries live multifunctional lives, and you can sort of see how they've come across this question, how they've made multifunctional lives for themselves. You could look at what environments and what products help us live more multifunctional lives. So it's just a research sheet, 1A3 sheet there, explaining what multifunctional living is. So you've got a good understanding of the contextual challenge. Now the second sheet I'm going to ask you to do this week is is another piece of research. So after I've gone back to the publisher document now. So this is sheet 2, contextual challenge. This is prime research. This is research you're going to find out for yourself. So after completing sheet 1, hopefully you realise that you need to design and make a product that has more than one function or aid multifunctional living, or can be folded away when not in use. You need to write down the contextual challenge in the middle of your page, multifunctional living, and then you can do like a little spider diagram, and I'll show you what I mean on the power. Let me just show you. So let's go to the second sheet. So you can put home, outdoors, work, travel. You can write other words around there. And then you can look for ways in which we live multifunctionally in those areas. So I've looked in the kitchen, and that's a multifunctional kitchen sort of storage unit, some stacking bowls that can be stored away into small spaces, and you can find lots of other things and put them around there. You could do for work, you could look in an office, or what you might need for school when you're travelling, or what you might need outdoors. Let's go back to that. So I've given you lots of little things to think about. You don't need to necessarily write a lot of information there. You're just thinking, what can I make and where will it go? So you're looking for ideas really of what sort of multifunctional products you can make, or how you could make something that'd be multifunctional. So you're just looking to give you some ideas. So that's the 2 tasks that I'd like you to do for this week. If you want to, you can read through the other tasks, and I'll be talking through those each week with you and giving you some help. But for this week, all you need to do is to do sheet number 1 and sheet number 2. And that's the first of 6 sheets on investigating the design problem. All right then, good luck with that. Obviously you can email me, if you're watching the video, you can ask questions at the end now, or you can ask questions next week. It's up to you. Okay, cheerio.